everybody, this is my first vlog style entry into the Lazy Naturopath. I am about to head to one of my favorite places to shop for food in the world. Central Market in Seattle might be my utterly favorite, but number two, and the one much closer to me now, is Dekalb International Market in Decatur, Georgia, just, as part of the Atlanta metro area. I wasn't really planning on doing this today, but I've had a rough couple weeks, just one thing after another happening. I feel like crud. I've been eating like crud. I'm trying to eat healthy, but nothing's really making me feel good. And just overnight, I was thinking, I don't want to keep eating like this. I don't want to keep feeling like this in my body. What do I need to do? What's going to make it a shift? And what I'm really craving is beautiful, colorful, fresh vegetables. And the Decatur International Market is just packed with wonderful fresh food from all over the world, hence the name International. And it always is super inspiring. It's a super affordable place to go, even though it's quite a drive for me. It's about an hour and a half to Atlanta. But I also really just need the day away from the grind. In addition to needing a new water heater within the last couple weeks, having major car issues in the last couple weeks that luckily turned out to be not too big of a deal, but I was potentially thinking about getting a brand new car, trying to do a CME medical conference this weekend, plus do a bunch of marketing and business stuff. I really just need a refresh. And for me, driving is a really great mental refresh. Being inspired by really beautiful food is a great mental refresh. I'm going to hit Krog City Market while I'm up there, just go out to lunch, do a little bit of adventuring, because travel is also one of my spiritual refreshes. And obviously with the pandemic, the only places I've traveled are to see family, which is wonderful, but it's not quite the same. So I really just need a day of out of my house, not in the office, get away, and I want to stock up on gorgeous, delicious things to eat that are super healthy and are going to recharge me and make me feel good about the food I'm eating and make that food make me feel good versus just I'm eating because I absolutely have to. What's the best choice I can make with the lowest expenditure of energy and money, but it's not re-energizing me either. So that also explains complete lack of makeup, crazy hair. This was kind of, like I said, a last-ish minute decision. And I want to get up there early while traffic is light, while it's cool, so I can get back here, log on to my medical conference, and do some food prep and, general chores as well today. So yeah, like I said, busy day, but I'm going to squeeze in a mini getaway into that. And I'm really looking forward to it. So I will check back in with you. I'm not allowed to film in the market, unfortunately, but I will check back in with you. I'll see if I can do some sneak filming. Bye. Hey, so I've made it to Decatur, and I stopped, since this is my day out, I'm treating myself to a coffee from one of my favorite coffee places in Atlanta, Dancing Goat. And actually, it's a chai, but everything's made from scratch, so if you're ever in Atlanta, check them out, and I'm on my way to the market. Bye. Alright, I've shifted to my car because it's pretty busy and it's a little weird for me to film in public. My plan is a smoothie in the morning with a lot of greens in it, probably spinach. A chopped salad for lunch on a dark leafy green base, and then some sort of bowl situation for dinner with some grains, lots of veg, and within that protein, probably protein powder in the shake, tofu or cooked meat, eggs with a chopped salad, and then again tofu or meat or beans or something with the bowl. Like, that will be fun. I can still explore foods that I want. I can try out some new different recipes, but I have a base of things that I know are good and will make me feel good and will make me excited to eat, but also won't be a lot of, will be work in chunks. All right, so like I said, I'm not allowed to film in there. They're really strict, lots of signs everywhere. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get permission, but for now I'm gonna go shopping, and then I will give you a pic. I will show you what my haul is when I'm done. All right, bye. All right, I am here. I've made it to the Krog Street Market. I was calling it Krog City Market. It's Krog Street Market. And I did mention it before, but I am vaccinated. I do have my mask, so I'm going to be super safe. And I was safe. Wearing my mask in both the coffee shop and the Dekalb Market. So we will keep maintaining COVID prevention protocols, even though mask mandates are lifting. Still, I'm going with the better safe than sorry as long as possible. But all right, so I'm gonna go in, wander around. I don't know how much I'll film in there, but I will see what I can do, and I will see you shortly. Bye. Well, I am done shopping. I was in there for about an hour. I bought all of these things. Let me flip the camera around to show you. All of that, 4 reusable grocery bags full of yumminess for about $110, $106.98. And that's actually more than I normally spend when I come here. Usually it's closer to $80, $90, but I did take advantage of some of the things that they carry here for much less money than I can get at like a normal grocery store. So I bought some more expensive things that are kind of restock specialty items in my pantry. All right, so I'm about to head to the Croc City Market, have some lunch. I actually need to log into my CME conference as well in like 2 minutes. So I'm going to listen to that as I have lunch. Yay technology that I can have a day off while still getting other work done. And I will see you guys when I get there. All right, I'm back in the car, ready to head back to Columbus. I had a couple slices of my really good wood-fired pizza, and now I'm ready to head back home and do a unbagging of my groceries, as well as a bunch of chores, all the while I am listening to day 3 of my advanced AAMP conference. So let me get back to that because the speaker's going right this second, and I will see you guys shortly. Hello again, and as you can see, I am not at a house. I am in a parking lot. I realized driving back from Atlanta that I really need, I've been needing to upgrade some of my bakeware for a while, or my cookware for a while, and with my eating plan and what needs to be done, I really should just go ahead and do that today, or need to do that today, so I can have what I need to do the meal prep, and I'm not struggling to find storage or whatever else, which will get in my way. Which means I'm in one of the worst places in the world to possibly be at 1:30 in the South on a Sunday, which is Sam's post-church time. But I am hoping I can run it out really quickly. I know exactly what I need and where it is, and it'll be worth it to have the things I need to do the food prep, as much as I really don't want to go in this building right now. All right, guys, I mean, that's completely a first world problem, and I fully understand and accept that I am being a whiny baby about something that I am super privileged to have the ability to do. But still, Sam's on a Sunday at 1:30. Ugh. All right, I am going, and I will be back. All right, it was not actually too bad. I was in and out pretty quickly considering how busy it was in there. So anyway, now I am heading home. So I will see you then. Alright guys, I am finally home. Just unloading things from the car. I am super sweaty and gross, so it is very hot out there. But I'm going to do a quick unboxing, or in this case an unbagging, to show you what I got on my kind of getaway trip to Atlanta. And I want to quickly show you the amount of things I got. And like I said, this was under $110 for 4 reusable bags full of things, full of groceries. And here is the receipt. And unlike CVS, that's actually all things that I paid for. So one of the reasons that it's worth going to the Dekalb Farmers Market, in addition to just being a nice, really inspirational getaway, is the value is massive. And I can find hard to find ingredients either at all or for much, much better prices than I can get them at a local grocery store. All right, sorry, this tripod is precariously balanced on something I got from Sam's. So let's start with that. As like I said, I did end up doing a unplanned but I think important run to Sam's because it's gonna make a big difference in my ability to easily food prep And so two of the things I got were baking trays, a quarter sheet and a half sheet pan, 2 each. The baking trays I currently have don't have a rim, and so things fall off in the oven all the time. They're good for cookies, but I don't make cookies very frequently, so they're not very good for what I actually bake. And I've been wanting to switch out for a while, and this definitely was a perfect time for the type of food I'm going to be prepping, and just take away the stress, or the annoyance, not really stress, of using the other baking trays. So I also got, all right, this is going to be crazy camera again, because I'm using this to prop up the camera, but these 5-quart food storage containers. I realized with my plan of doing a dark leafy green swap out salad blend, I need something to put it in that's going to let it stay fluffy so it doesn't go bad. And I don't really have anything that's the right size. And again, I've been eyeballing these for a while. I've just been super minimalist since I've moved to my new old house, where I really don't buy something unless I really know that I need it. And most of the time, if I buy something that's an upgrade, I'm getting rid of the thing that it's replacing. So I will actually be donating my other baking sheets to Goodwill and just storing the new baking sheets. I don't have anything that's at all like these storage containers, so there won't be a swap out on that. But yeah, I'm going very slow to what I bring in, so I only have what I need, and which just makes my life easier. All right, so what did I get at the Dekalb Farmers Market? We're gonna start with the cans and grains and containers bag. So one of the things I got was key lime juice. This is one of my shortcuts. Sure, fresh lime juice is amazingly better, but I often don't have fresh lemons or limes, or I bought them and didn't use them in time, so they're old and hard. I just use a decent bottled citrus juice. I usually have something like this in my house. I like the key lime juice. For whatever reason, at the Dekalb Farmers Market, it's pretty inexpensive, and it's not quite lime and not quite lemon flavored, so it's a good swap out for either one, unless you're making something really specifically lime or lemon. I'll throw this in water, I'll use it in salad dressings. This will last me quite a while, and I think it was like $3. So definitely much more value than me constantly buying and wasting citrus. All right, something else I got was spearmint. I'm gonna use this as tea. It's good for testosterone conversion issues, and I've been breaking out a lot, so I feel like I'm having some of that as part of the generalized stress and just dysfunction of my life currently. I'm working to get functional, but this is going to help just with the hormone piece. And then I also got some wheat bran. This was 50 cents. Not even, this was 48 cents. This is just an easy way to add some fiber to my morning smoothie. I'm not gluten-free. I'm not planning on going gluten-free, even for kind of a burst in the immediate future. So for 50 cents, this can kind of mix and match between me using flax meal or chia to boost fiber, and I can even mix that in with soups or baked goods or any other things just to increase that fiber load. Now something else I got, and this was another great value, this is a whole thing of dates. No, they're not medjool dates, they're just dates, but this was $5. Dates are really good alternative sweetener. A lot of recipes call for dates when you want a little bit of sweetness but not sugar. It's also a great thing I can add to salad. So for $5, this is probably 1/3 to 1/4 the price of what I could get this for locally. And dates last for a really long time, so this is kind of something I can just kind of keep in my pantry and use as needed. Now something I always stock up on when I go to the Dekalb International Market is tofu. It's kind of hard to find tofu in Columbus, or it's really expensive when you do find it. I usually shop at Aldi's, and Aldi's is really hit or miss having tofu. So I got two different types. I got this one that's a shelf-stable refrigerator or vacuum seal box. And then I got a couple refrigerator ones as well. I want to try the different brands and see which one I like better. Now, I also got some other olives. These could be in salads or used for snacking. I think they were like $1.50 or $2. So again, it's really nice to go shop there because I don't have to, I can try new things and usually they're super cheap. So if I hate them, you know, either I will pass them on to somebody else or, you know, find a way to eat them and never buy it again. All right, so then I also got nutritional yeast. This tastes like white cheddar powder. So this is a great cheese swap out for something like a snack like popcorn. It's used in a lot of vegan cheeses. So I want to play with that a little bit more. It's been a long time since I've used it for that regard. But it's also just a nice flavor boost because, again, it tastes almost exactly like white cheddar popcorn, that white cheddar powder taste. This is almost a dead ringer for. And again, it lasts forever, high in B12, so really good B vitamin source. So lots of benefits to that. And then I got some really fine Himalayan sea salt. The Himalayan sea salt I currently have is super coarse and chunky. I don't even really know why I bought it. It's kind of not very useful because it's so big. So they didn't have any plain, oddly. So this is lemon flavored. They had lemon, black pepper, and paprika options. I figured lemon was sort of, could go sweet or savory. But this whole thing was $1.50. So again, I needed a fine sea salt. I also got some turmeric. I have curry powder, but I'm out of just straight up turmeric. And since I'm kind of looking at doing, really leaning anti-inflammatory with my food choices, I can just add that to a bunch of different things. And then one of my favorite things ever, sun-dried tomatoes. I love sun-dried tomatoes. These are just dry, so they're not in oil. They can be a little bit salty, but again, salads, pastas, these are just a great add-on, and sometimes I just snack on them. And then something else I stock up on every time I'm at the market is coconut milk. So something else that can be oddly expensive to get locally, and sometimes, again, a little hard to find. Aldi's never has it. I have to go to Publix, and sometimes they can just be really pricey. So I always get, at least a few coconut milks, because that's a great ingredient that you need for curries and things. And then the last two things, one is this bruschetta mix. I'm not really planning on using it for bruschetta. I'm thinking I can use it as a pesto alternative. I'm not a big pesto fan. To me, it doesn't have enough flavor, but I do like the idea of pesto. And again, my goal is to do mostly bowls for dinner. So I could also use this for like an Italian bowl, mix this with some roasted vegetables, or mix it with some pasta and do roasted vegetables on top. Again, it was super affordable. I think it was less than $3. So it's just a great, easy, fast flavor bomb that I don't have to do the work, but I can bring in a lot of flavor in a lot of different ways. And then I've never cooked with these or eaten these at all, but fava beans. I saw these there. We're gonna try it. I might put it in one of my Greek bowls. So I've got to look up what you even do with fava beans. But again, that's one of the great things about that market that I really love is they have ingredients, really, really well-stocked ingredients that represent the dietary intake of cultures literally all over the world. And so they have a lot of options that would be gourmet or not even possible to find at a conventional local grocery store that's just their standard. So it's a great way to try new foods that you haven't tried before. I like to experiment with different ways of cooking. And again, it's so inexpensive that if it fails, I've spent like $2 on that process. All right, guys, that is bag 1 of 4 down. Now the next bag is where a lot of the goodness is. Now in here is my refrigerated tofu. I was using this as a cooling agent for the other things in the bag because this is where most of my produce is. So I got these beautiful on the vine tomatoes. The local tomatoes have not looked super ripe lately, so I'm going to use those in I don't know, my family's always called it a Tunisian salad. I know it has a bunch of different names, but kind of the cucumber, tomato, green pepper, Italian dressing salad for a Greek bowl. Sam, the cooking guy, who you may or may not have heard of, he has a great YouTube channel, but he recently did this chicken shawarma knockoff on the grill that looked delicious. So I want to try that, and I'll figure I'll use that as the protein in my Greek bowl to go along with everything else. The other tomatoes I bought, I am going to use in a tabbouleh salad as the base of that, along with, and here these are all a little sad looking right now, but they'll perk up as soon as I put them back in water. But something else I got was parsley. I actually got 2 bunches of parsley. They were 30 cents each, so I couldn't pass that up. One is going to be for the tabbouleh salad. I'll use the whole thing. And the other one I'll use either in my green smoothies in the morning, in my spring roll bowl, in wraps. So I'll just kind of throw this in whatever. And now this is something that from a whole foods eating and cooking philosophy, I do that most real chefs don't. I use everything. So I don't peel the leaves off parsley. I will cut the ends just to get the dead parts off. But when I go to make tabbouleh, I just dice the whole thing. When I use this in smoothies, I'll use stems and all, because every part of the plant has nutritional value, and a lot of times the leaves have different nutritional value than the stems. And it doesn't waste. So whole foods is about eating the whole food as best you can, as close to how it came out of nature as you can. So parsley is a perfect example. You literally pick it off the ground, eat the whole thing. So I have 2 bunches of Italian parsley. I also got a nice beautiful bunch of peppermint. So an interesting thing, peppermint versus spearmint. Both of them have a very similar flavor profile. They're both minty, but peppermint is actually a cooling herb and spearmint is a warming herb. So spearmint doesn't necessarily make you feel hot like a cayenne pepper, which is also a warming herb, but it's not going to give you that cool sensation that peppermint does. And so that's one of the things when we're doing herbal medicine, when you're kind of choosing between which mint to use, we kind of go back and forth and choose based on what the patient is dealing with. Are they better off with peppermint or spearmint? It's usually peppermint because usually we're dealing with fevers or sinus infections or something that's kind of a hot condition, an inflamed condition. But this is going to be for spring rolls, my spring roll bowls, tea, other flavorings. There's a ton of this here. I'll probably end up freezing it. I've got to remind myself how to do it, but there's a way to freeze herbs. And then I also got this beautiful bunch of basil. Again, this will be for my Greek bowl, my Italian bowl, my spring rolls, anything that basil's good for. And because there's so much, I may not make it through this quite fast enough. So again, I'll probably end up preserving these in some way. If I don't freeze them, I can make a honey out of them, or I can do basil and oil and make sort of a knockoff pesto. And then something else, I've never actually had this before, but this, as it's falling apart, is watercress. So I got a lot of beautiful greens. This was one of them that I figured I can try. Let's show you, try right now. Doesn't really have much flavor. I thought it actually tastes a lot like grass. It's like a grass that you wouldn't mind eating. So very, very clean or fresh flavored. Again, I'll throw this in my salads, potentially in my smoothies, just kind of wherever, but I just wanted to get a really big variety of greens for nutritional balance, for fun, and to try a bunch of different things. So watercress, my first time with that. Now something else I got that I have eaten before is this thing. Have you guys ever seen this before? This is fennel. So this is the fennel bulb. These are the fennel fronds. This tastes a lot like licorice. There are 2 plants that taste like licorice, anise and fennel. Completely different families, but just happen to have the same flavor profile. I like licorice, so this is a flavor that I enjoy. Not everybody does. So this is definitely a to taste vegetable. If I bought this from Fresh Market, this might be $7, at least $5. This was $1.50. So I wasn't planning on getting fennel, but it was a great price. It's something that I don't get to cook with all the time or eat all the time. And so I'm gonna put this in an apple fennel walnut salad, at least some of it, and I might roast half of it. I've never actually done roasted fennel, so we'll have to see how that goes. Now fennel, it's kind of hard to eat this really thick part, but you can use the soft floppy fronds. I might just throw this in the salad. I'll have to figure out how to use those. But yeah, the thick part is not super palatable. And then I got lots and lots of greens. So this is something I started in medical school, and I don't remember why. I think it was something was on sale, which is a lot of how I made my early decisions in medical school. But instead of using lettuce as a salad green, one of the things that I started doing was using specifically rainbow chard. Today I got rainbow chard, collards, and turnip greens. Now these greens are tougher definitely than lettuce, but the benefit of that is they hold up better for longer. What I would do is wash these, probably take about half the bunch to start with and chop them into pretty decent sized pieces. And then when it's time to prep my salad in the morning, I'll put a big handful in the bottom of my bowl and then put some vinegar on them. So by the time it comes, when it's time to eat the salad, 4 hours later, that vinegar will have gently softened the leaves and flavored them and made them a little easier to eat. This is a great way to get dark leafy greens in if you don't like sauteing them. And I don't know why. I used to saute greens all the time and I just cannot bring myself to do it now. And that's kind of an issue with kale as well. I've thrown away so much kale since I moved to Georgia. I used to love kale. I just am not about kale in this state. So that's why I didn't get kale. I got kind of the greens that are a little softer to begin with. I also got some green beans. These are always just a good go-to. A head of cauliflower. I can roast this and put this in one of the bowls. I might actually put the turmeric on it and do like a turmeric cauliflower situation. I also don't mind grating this to make my own cauliflower rice. I'd rather do this and have it not be so mushy and wet than get the frozen, and honestly I don't really like cauliflower rice, so I'll probably just roast this or throw it in curry or something like that. But again, whole foods. I won't eat the green part, but I do eat all of the stems. So sometimes I cut the florets off and use those for one purpose and use the stems for something else, but basically eat everything that is chewable. And the last couple things